Day 14 of Chicago Bears camp is in the books, and let's talk about what happened. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears training camp update video, which I'll be doing every single day of training camp this year. So if you guys want all the updates on what's happening at Bears camp, definitely be sure to subscribe to my channel. This series should be coming to an end pretty soon, okay, because we only have a few more days open to the public of camp. Only 2 more days after today, and after that they will obviously practice, but it will not be open to the public, and there won't be too many reports coming out because then we'll be getting ready for the regular season. Okay, by then I don't think people even care about training camp as much anymore. So appreciate all the support you guys are giving me on this series. It does well basically every single year. Even if the Bears suck, you guys still watch these videos, so appreciate all of you. But let's just get into the video. Okay, so the first story I have to talk about today is that a lot of players came back, okay, injured players that didn't practice for the last week plus. Okay, so Velus Jones, Kyler Gordon, the rookies came back to practice. Cole Kmet came back to practice. Kendall Vilder was back, and a few others also were back at practice fully healthy, which you love to see that, guys. I mean, especially Velus and Kyler Gordon, they've been out for a long time now, okay, over a week and a half, which it's not that long, but it's still you don't want your top rookies to be out for too long, and it looks like they are fully healthy, and the injury they suffered was nothing major, okay? So glad to see the Rooks back, and also glad to see Cole Kmet back too, guys, because Cole Kmet was not playing in the game against the Chiefs last Saturday, and you could definitely tell, guys. I mean, we also had our number 2 tight end and number 3 tight end missing in that game too, so that was part of the reason why Justin Fields in the first team offense did not score any points, but it seems like they're going to be getting a lot of players back for this game Thursday against the Seattle Seahawks. So good to see those guys back. But moving on to the next story now of the day, Robert Quinn had himself a hell of a day, okay? Hell of a practice going up against rookie tackle Braxton Jones. Braxton Jones has been solid for a good portion of camp, okay? He's looked like a starting level left tackle, and he's held his own most days against Robert Quinn and the rest of our pass rushers. But today, Robert Quinn took the rookie to school, okay? He had multiple sacks against Braxton Jones, at least 2 that I saw on Twitter. I think somebody else said he might have had 3, and regardless, Braxton Jones definitely struggled today. According to Zach Pearson, both times were really not close. So it's clear that today Robert Quinn has experienced his talent at this point in his career. Robert Quinn is coming off an 18.5 sack season, guys. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are not talking enough about that because it was a pretty quiet 18.5 sack season just because the Bears were not good last year. We didn't win many games, and the Bears on primetime did not really perform that well. So a lot of people around the NFL do not really, appreciate how good Robert Quinn actually was last year. But today, it was fully on display, okay? Beat the rookie with the handful of moves that he has, the experience that he's acquired. I mean, you could definitely tell that Robert Quinn has been in this league for a lot longer than Braxton Jones today in practice, which is to be expected, guys. Obviously, he was not going to win every single day of practice. He was not going to look good every single day because he is super young. He has a lot to learn still, and today, he learned a lot by failing against Robert Quinn. You learn a lot in failure, guys, and today Braxton Jones definitely failed, but I'm sure that he'll be rebounding with a strong practice tomorrow and hopefully a strong game on Thursday as well. So Robert Quinn, really good day by him. Really good day by the rest of our pass rush too. Dominic Robinson was playing with the first team for a good handful of snaps. He also had a sack today. And the offensive line, guys, first team offensive line, did not look that good, okay, corner report. So still kind of worried about the state of the offensive line because nothing is really set in stone right now. We have a lot of moving parts. We have young guys on the O-line, guys that are not that proven right now. So you really hope that they can start to pick it up sometime soon. I mean, I do realize that the Bears pass rushers are really talented right now. We have a very talented core of pass rushers in Robert Quinn, Aquadim Mohammed, Dominic Robinson, Travis Gibson. I mean, these are guys that can succeed in this league. So it's going up against pretty good competition, but you should be winning some days to show that you have a solid, foundation on the offensive line. So hopefully they win some battles tomorrow. But talking about the next story of the day now, guys. Okay, let's talk about how Justin Fields QB1 looked, and he looked pretty good, okay, according to most reports, even though the offensive line did not look that impressive, okay? So according to Chris Maltby, so in red zone drills, he had a nice throw over the middle to Darnell Mooney, who ducks into the end zone between defenders. Fields continues to get the ball out quickly with some zip behind it. So not a surprise there, guys, seeing Justin Fields and Darnell Mooney on the same page. They've been on the same page this entire offseason in camp as well. So that's good to see. And then Patrick Finley said that maybe the best pass I've seen Justin Fields throw in camp was a deep ball to Daz Newsome down the right seam in 2 minutes. So it seems like he had a pretty impressive throw on the 2-minute drill going to Daz Newsome, which Daz Newsome still has a chance to make this roster, guys. Okay, there's a lot of injuries right now in the receiving core. Velus is back, but Byron Pringle is still out. N'Keal Harry is still out. Tajay Sharp has stepped up big time. Let's see if Daz Newsome can continue to step up and hopefully have a good game, you know, on Thursday if he wants to make the roster. But good pass there by Justin Fields. Also, Thomas Loper talked about how when the protection was adequate, he quickly got to his second, third, and fourth read. Something that I liked, and I'm not sure the others saw. Fields hit St. Brown for an 8-yard gain on the latter half of a crossing route near the sideline. He looked the safety off, and St. Brown got to the sideline unscathed for a nice pickup. These are some of the progressions we needed to see coming into camp this year. All signs pointing up for Justin Fields. Especially love that report, guys, because you're seeing maturity and progression here in Justin Fields, in his, you know, intangibles, I will say. Okay, looking off the safety is something he didn't do that much of last year. It's something that experienced quarterbacks would do in the NFL, and it seems like the coaching and the work that he put in himself seems to be, you know, making an impact so far in camp. Okay, it seems like a much smarter quarterback overall, which you absolutely love to see. So good day again, guys, by QB1. Okay, the rest of the offense is not really helping him out that much. That might be a theme this year for the Chicago Bears, because they don't exactly have the most proven talent on the offensive side of the football. But hopefully Luke Getsy can scheme up enough for Justin Fields to have some type of progression from last year into this year. So that is the offense, guys. Didn't exactly look that good. But I do want to talk about Tevin Jenkins now. Okay, backup. He's a backup right now, but he might be starting in the future, okay, if he continues playing as good as he did today. But Tevin Jenkins, guys, actually played at guard today, okay? So the coaching staff wants to see him at guard to see if he can succeed there, which I think that's a good idea, guys, okay? If he's not going to be starting with the first team at right tackle, maybe see if he can start at guard eventually, if he can beat out Michael Schofield, because he has a lot of traits, guys, that could translate pretty well to playing guard in this league, okay? He has a mauler type of build, and when he gets his hands on you, he overwhelms you, okay? He dominates you there, but hasn't exactly looked great so far at tackle, at least in the regular season. He looked pretty good in preseason at tackle against the Chiefs for the most part, okay? Lost a couple reps, but I thought stood his ground for, you know, the majority of that game with the twos. And seems like this regime, though, thinks he might be better off suited to move to the inside, or at least they're trying to give him a chance to move inside. But according to Thomas Loper, guys, which, by the way, follow this guy on Twitter. He has very detailed camp breakdowns. He goes to camp basically every single day. But he said that Tevin Jenkins didn't lose a single rep, and he was constantly the best lineman with the twos. So today he was playing with the twos the entire practice. This is an interesting one to look out for. They've been increasing his workload, and now kicking him inside to guard seems noteworthy. I believe he can compete for the starting position. Then Luke Getsy said that we want to try and see what that looks like on Tevin Jenkins playing at right guard. He said that guards are stressed more in their system and that Jenkins can handle that. So I'm a fan of this, guys, okay, because I'm a big Tevin Jenkins fan overall. I still think he can succeed at right tackle given the time, but if they want to move him inside right now based on his traits that they've seen on tape, you know, I can kind of see that, guys. Like I mentioned earlier, he kind of has that mauler type of build that could work very well in a system like this, okay, and Luke Getsy's, you know, Shanahan style of offense. And if Tevin Jenkins is part of the best five, I don't care where he plays, okay? He can play right tackle, he can play right guard, as long as he's somewhere on that offensive line. That would be a win for the Chicago Bears, because he has too much raw talent to just waste by having him on the bench. So good day by Tevin Jenkins. Maybe he moves up the depth chart to beat out Michael Schofield if Schofield has another bad game like he had against the Chiefs on Saturday, but we'll see, okay? Good competition there. And then finally, I want to end this video off by talking about the Roquan Smith situation a little bit more, which got so much weirder today, and I don't even know what this means, okay? So according to Courtney Cronin, she said that the NFL Management Council just sent a memo to teams warning of a non-NFLPA certified agent contacting teams on Roquan Smith's behalf. The NFLPA has informed us that a person by the name of Saint Omni, who is not an NFLPA certified agent, is contacting clubs and indicating he is representing Roquan Smith, who's under contract to the Chicago Bears. Mr. Omni is prohibited from negotiating player contracts or discussing potential trades on behalf of any NFL player or prospective player, or assisting in or advising with respect to such negotiations. What? Okay, like I've been watching the NFL for a long time. I've been following the NFL for a long time, and I can't remember a situation as weird as this, where apparently somebody is saying they're Saint Omni, okay, which that sounds like a made-up name, okay? It might be a real person, but it sounds like a made-up name, and they're trying to see what trade offers the Bears could get for, or not, I'm sorry, I think they're trying to see which teams have trade interest in Roquan Smith, okay? And you would think this would be somebody from Roquan's camp to see if anybody wants to trade for him, to see if he has a home somewhere else, to see what the contract offers might be elsewhere. And if that's the case, guys, that's absolutely insane, okay? I don't think this would be anybody from the Bears side, because the Bears are allowed to talk with other teams and see what they want to give for Roquan Smith, okay? That's our right as a team, okay? But Ryan Poles said he does not want to trade Roquan Smith, which is why he's not taking trade calls right now. But seems like, you know, somebody on behalf of Roquan probably is taking trade calls. So I don't know what to say about the situation, okay? The whole thing is so weird, and I just hope that it comes to an end sometime soon, whether that result in a trade or an extension. Like, at this point, I want something to happen, because this is dragging on for way too long, okay? This should have ended like a couple weeks ago, but still dragging on with the regular season starting in less than a month, which absolutely sucks, guys. So let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments down below. What do you think about the Saint Omni situation? Do you know who Saint Omni is? Let me know down below. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, bear down.